What's going on, guys? It's Brandon or teslaflex, and today we are here in my new refreshed Model Y launch series for another full self-driving video in FSD 13.2.8. I am currently on, let's see, software 2024.44.58.6 using the FSD 13.2.8. I do have an update available, but it's just some bug fixes, so I'll ignore that for now. I have my regular location, Sam's Club, right here, so we will start by pressing and holding to start FSD. Puts me on my seat position and immediately gets us going. And I don't think the front bumper camera is being used just yet, but it's still pretty cool to see it in action right now. And for some reason, yeah, it wants to turn left out of here. I actually didn't look at the navigation beforehand. So yeah, I guess it's going out this way for some reason. Now, like I mentioned, this is my refreshed Model Y, the Model Y Juniper, refreshed Model Y, new Model Y, whatever you want to call it. It's a launch series, so that basically includes every possible option. You can choose whatever color paint, whatever interior. You get the tow hitch included, and then you also get full self-driving. It's actually the second Tesla that I've owned, but I guess I'm leasing this one that has full self-driving built in, which is nice at least because I don't have to pay for a subscription, but you know, in the 2 years, I can either buy it out of the lease or just give it back, but I'll probably just end up giving it back because I owned my last Model Y for 18 months and got rid of that pretty quickly. So we're gonna turn right up here. And I guess while I'm here driving with full self-driving, I can talk about my experience with this Model Y so far. So I have 1,089 miles on here right now. And I'd say probably half of that's just from like range testing and other testing driving that Kyle has done. But you know, I've really noticed a good improvement. Also, there was a car right there that just kind of swung out a little bit, didn't hesitate at all, but I'm sure if it popped out enough it would have done something. Looks like we're clear to turn left, or at least get in the lane to merge to turn left. So let's see what we got. We are going to start signaling, and oh, perfect, it's just gonna merge right into traffic. Very smooth. And speaking of smooth, the driving in this Model Y definitely feels a lot smoother than the last Model Y. I mean, if you had a 2024 and a 2026, I guess, or a 2025 and a 2026 pre-refresh and refresh, you probably notice they don't feel that different, but this one does feel quieter inside because it has the double pane glass all around instead of just the front windshield and this front windows. All the glass is double pane now. We also have the new roof glass, which you can't even see right now, but it has a double silver coating or silver lining, and that actually helps a lot with keeping the heat out, especially during the summer. And you know, we've had some pretty hot days, probably like 70s, high 70s, and I haven't felt any of the heat coming down. In my last Model Y, I actually get a sunshade because it would get so hot that I was just kind of annoying sometimes. Like, it wasn't, you know, it was bright, it would get hot, but the most I felt was just like warm to the touch. So pretty good job there. Overall, I'd say this feels smoother, like I mentioned, and you know, I noticed immediately, but I wasn't exactly sure what the real difference was, but like the turning circle, it's actually a bit different now than the last Model Y. You know, my Model Y performance and my current Model 3 performance, they felt pretty similar with the way they drove. Like, I know the Model 3 way more sporty. The Model Y was like a boat, basically, model boat performance, but this Model Y, it's the long range all-wheel drive. And honestly, I don't have any plans to get a performance as much as people say I should. I really don't think it's worth it. And wow, that just found a spot, went right in. We got a merge, of course, up here. But now instead of 2 full turns to do full lock, it's like 2.4, but the turning circle is like not much wider. It's just more comfortable of a turn. And I mean, even around curves, it just feels like way different. The bumps feel a lot smoother. I'm also on 20-inch Martian Wheels right now, so that doesn't really help my ride quality that much, but when I had the 19-inch wheels, the cross flows, they're pretty comfortable as well. Yeah, right here, looks like we're just going straight down for 2.6 miles, so I'll just get this sped up, and you know, anything interesting happens, I'll slow it down. we are in hurry mode, so this likes to choose the quickest possible path. And I actually kind of like that. Sometimes it's kind of annoying, but I can also just go like this and switch between hurry, standard, and chill. I prefer hurry just because it actually does drive like pretty assertively. You know, it weaves through traffic when needed, and it will really do its best to be the fastest car in whichever lane it's in, and also just switch lanes like I did back there behind that Equinox EV. It was there, could have just stayed in the left lane, but it decided to go up because it was like, what, 3 cars up, 3 cars more space that it could take. For some reason, it's throwing us in the left lane. Not entirely sure. Maybe it thinks that we're going to be faster in this lane. I'm honestly not sure. We have a mile to turn, so maybe it, I don't know, decided that it likes the left lane, even though it could just be like 1 car up if it just stayed in the right lane. Alright, we are turning right in 0.2 miles, and I guess we're just squeezing between the Volt and the CRB right here, but it's interesting. Could have just stayed in the right lane and pretty much on the same thing, but I guess that's just part of hurry mode. But also I do like that it didn't like slow down too much behind that car, it just kind of kept going. I noticed a lot of these turns, like it's way more confident. And I know that front bumper camera isn't being used yet, but you know, when it is, it's really going to help with these turns, especially the turns at stoplights when you have traffic coming, because then you can actually see full 180 degrees both ways. And this is actually a slightly different way that I would usually take to Sam's Club. I would usually take a different road down, but I figured this was a nice way to see because there's a left turn up here. It's a little bit complicated because it's kind of blocked, so I wanted to see if the car could handle that. And you also may be hearing some of these bumps in the video. I gotta remind you, I'm on the 20-inch Martian Wheels MW05 with 265/40 R20 tires. So they're not EV specific. They're Michelin Pilot All-Season 4s. I think I said that right. So they're not meant for electric cars. So they're a little bit louder and they're a little bit rougher. But overall, I mean, they're still pretty good tires. Just a little bit less comfortable. All right, so we have a green arrow right now. Hoping some of these cars can go. Guys, go, go. I don't know, people are just on their phones all the time. I guarantee at least one of those cars up front was. So hopefully we can get over to the right lane because these cars up here are kind of going slow. There we go. And then we have a nice curve up here, so curves both ways. So I'm curious if this will feel any different than the Model 3. The Model 3 just, it's way lower to the ground, so it feels a bit better, but you know, the last Model Y was like, you really could feel the swing, and I'm wondering if this you feel it a bit less. So here's the start of the curve. It's saying 25 with a little flashing light. And we are, looks like we're slowing down a little bit, but not really going to 25. And I guess to be fair, it's I'm on hurry mode, and it's basically basing it off of the traffic around me. So it sees that these cars are going fast, and it's like, oh, okay, so I can go fast too. But it got down to 38, which is still more than I would like, but also like I don't see any other cars going 25 right here. But I understand why these signs are here and everything. So now speed limit's 35, we're going 40, but again, it's at the hurry mode with a 25% offset. I don't know why Tesla recommends a 40% offset, but that's kind of insane because that's like 56 and a 40. Huh, maybe the Model Y should have taken some notes from the Ioniq 6 up there, because I could have made it through the light. But now we got a fun stoplight. Alright, we got a green light. And I shouldn't get confused at all by this right turn. Yeah, we're good there. I know like FSD 11 would always get confused right there. So we're going 30 right now, we're taking the turn at about 18 miles an hour. It's down to 15, but pretty normal. You know, I'd say other versions or older versions, it would go way slower around the right turns, like almost on to 10, and then it would be like a really slow turn. This feels pretty good. We're now making our final turn into the Sam's Club parking lot. If only that goose was 5 feet the other direction, it would have stopped for it. It was pretty cool. One time I was driving the Model 3 with FSD, and it did that, and it thought of it like they were tiny dogs. Okay, oh, we got a person up here, that's good. Yep, car's gonna stop and let them pass, as it should. And then I think it's actually just gonna call it here. So let me just get back in the drive so I don't awkwardly stop here. But I guess that person just kind of signaled like, oh, that's good enough. We can end her there. All right, and actually here we can use the front bumper camera and get it put to use. Let's see, I see it's saying stop, but I can go all the way up to there. Nice use for the bumper camera. All right, well, that was the drive to Sam's Club. Overall, I had no issues at all. Don't have to touch the wheel once, and I have to accelerate once. Very good. I'm kind of excited to see what Tesla has up their sleeve in the next few months, because we haven't really gotten a decent software update with full self-driving for a little while. So I want to see FSD, 14 now? Maybe with Banish and all the other cool features they're promising. But, you know, we got a bunch of robotaxi stuff that got decompiled this, like today actually, for a future update. So hopefully we can actually start to see some of that coming through. And of course, as soon as that does happen, I'll have plenty of videos testing it out. If there's anywhere else in Fort Collins or like any specific routes you want me to try to take here, then let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.